Hi guys, this is Massa from the Great White North. So today I want to talk about a new game made in Canada, our proud country. It's called Genesis Battle of Champions. Uh, I know a bit about the game, but not much. So I thought the best way to learn about it was to invite their creator and CEO Assad. Hello Assad.
Hello, hello.
So I'm very excited by this game. It went under my radar. I heard about it from other YouTubers. I just want to learn more about it, and I
Yeah.
want to see, I want to help people around me to learn about it, and hopefully, to make it bigger. Um, so, I have some questions, if you don't mind. I will go
Mhm.
through them. So first, can you introduce yourself quickly? Like, where do you come from, and how did you arrive to making Genesis?
Um, it's a bit of a story. So my name's Assad Qurashi. You can call me Sid for short.
Okay.
Uh, Born and raised in Southern Ontario. I've been playing collectible card games my entire life. When I was back in '95, I must have been 7 or so, and my dad uh, was trying to find a game for me and my brothers to play. I have 3 older brothers, and at that time, there wasn't like 4-player video game consoles, right?
Yeah.
So we're looking for a game to play, and the computer store that we were visiting, the owner recommended to my dad to teach us how to play Magic.
Hmm.
So he bought a bunch of Magic cards. We divvied up all the cards to the 5 different colors. Each of us took a different color, and we played Magic.
I
Then from
see.
Magic, we went into playing Overpower. I went to play Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic again, a bunch of different card games, RPGs, video games. Uh, it was my life. I loved card games. And then when I was younger, one of my older brothers also was in the habit of designing his own games and making his own RPG campaigns or making new characters or new cards to put into our Magic sets. And I got into the habit of doing that. And then it really became a thing when I was in university. The best way for me to learn how to study was to apply what I was learning in school into designing games.
Oh, I
So
see.
I studied computer science, English, and linguistics. So whenever I was studying something in class that I
Mhm.
didn't understand, I would try to implement it into a card game. And eventually I had a really good card game on my hand.
Mhm.
And me and my friends, we would play that every Friday night. We would meet up at my dad's place and play for 10, 15 hours. We would be playtesting Genesis for years. But really the goal was for me and my friends to get together and hang out. Uh, and without spending money on other games. So we would hang out, we would have coffee, we would have Red Bulls, and we'd just be playing till the break of dawn.
I
And then
see. Okay.
eventually I just got down the path of I want to learn more. I want to learn what it's like to run a company. I want to learn what it's like to do sales, build relationships, meet amazing people like yourself.
I think.
And I was like, it's time. It's time for me to start selling this game.
Mhm.
So I took it to the market. Didn't think we would sell any of it, but we started selling it at a pretty good pace that I quit my full-time job and started doing this. So I've been doing this for almost 4 years now.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. Uh, so in a nutshell, can you explain what Genesis is? Kind of like the story behind, and like what kind of game it is?
So Genesis at its core is a tactical collectible card game.
I see.
It is take your favorite things about a collectible card game like deck building, collecting, opening up booster packs, but put it onto a tactical grid like chess, and it's you and your opponents fighting in an arena. So we borrow elements from games like Warhammer, Diablo, Magic, all of these like dark
Like that,
fantasy
right?
things, and we put it together. And the feel is you and your opponent in a pit fight, fighting for your life. And that's really what we're trying to emulate.
So it's a bit, when I saw this for the first time, I was thinking about skirmish in Warhammer.
Hmm. Yep.
Like now all those game like Warhammer try to reduce the scale so that you have less and less because it's too expensive and it's too long. But so here it's a one versus one, and you have a board, and you can
Mhm.
have some beasties or some hero or some like friend to help you fight.
So it's kind of like the idea here, definitely borrowed from Magic, is you as a champion. These are the type of characters that we play with. We play with champions.
Mm.
These are heroes who are adept at fighting and doing magical abilities. And you have a resource called aura. And that aura can be used to do magical things like bring out a creature. But once you bring out a creature, it becomes autonomous from your character. So kind of like how in Warhammer, you can have multiple units and each unit goes out and does different things on the board and takes their own turns. That's how it works in here.
I
So if
see.
my team has 5 units and your team has 5 units, then combine like we each have 5 turns and we go back and forth taking turns.
Oh, okay, okay, I see. By the way, we will have some gameplay video later on, maybe next week or next week,
Yeah.
whenever we can find time. So I mean, I understand now. Like, I wanted to ask you what motivated you to create a game, but I guess it's like you are born like it's like your life dream. So,
Another big part of it was so I played a lot of games.
mm,
I played maybe 30 or 40 different collectible card games. I played a few miniature games. At the end of the day, none of them satisfied the urge, the craving that I was looking for. And if you can't find something out there that does what you want it to do, the best thing for you to do is make it yourself.
I know the
Uh,
feeling. I have some idea myself too, and like I'm always frustrated when I see games because I want them like the way I want. Um,
yeah.
and I'm just curious because like looking at the cards, looking at the market a bit, um, what make you choose to go for a trading card game, collectible aspect, and not
Yep.
toward, kind of a board game with card, or like,
Yep.
those living card game. There's
Yep.
Lord of the Ring and there is Game of
hmm
Thrones. So why going the trading card route and not the just board game route?
So first and foremost, I it had to be a card game. It wasn't going to be a board game. It wasn't going to be a miniature game.
Yeah, yeah.
It had to be a card game. And the reason why I did collectible card games, honestly, the first game I was trying to publish was a living card game, which was going to be a deck builder dungeon crawler
Hmm.
called Odyssey. And me and my best friend, we were designing it for about 2 years and we were in the phase of starting to get commissioned for artwork and a lot of stuff. And I was talking to a friend of mine who had recently got was on Shark Tank and
Hmm.
got his company funded, and he was doing really well, and his company was exploding. And I was talking to him. I'm like, "How did you get through it? How did you go and become an entrepreneur?" And he was like, he said to me, "It's a product. If you don't believe in your product, if you're not passionate about it, it doesn't excite you, then you're not going to succeed." And I told him about what we were working on, and I told him about Genesis, and he's like, "You have so much more love for Genesis as a game that this is the product you have to do. Don't force yourself to do something because it's the biggest trend right now. Because at that time, board game were about what 10 years ago. Board games were the biggest
I
trend.
know, I know.
Everyone was playing board games and collectible card games. A lot of people thought that the industry was going to die, but I I was like, okay, no matter what, I'm gonna make a collectible card game because this is the thing I enjoy the most. It's beyond playing the game. It's trading the cards. It's opening up booster packs. And plus, when you play a collectible card game, like people have been playing Magic for 15 years, 20 years.
Mhm.
Do you know anyone who's been playing the same board game for 15 years?
No, I think, yeah,
They might play
yeah.
Monopoly once in a while, but no one's
No,
playing the
man, like
same board game.
yeah, I think I think it's just there is more risk going to the trading card game market
There is
than making a board game
100%.
because board game usually you make more money when it's out and then it's finished.
Yeah.
Where trading card game, well, that depends how it goes. But
I compare it to the difference between movies and television shows. Movies,
I
you
see.
make your movie, you
Yeah.
publish it, it does well, and then it just sits in the archive for a long time. But TV shows, season after season, you're on the air, you're creating new content, you're
Mhm.
always having to create new storylines. Uh, I like the TV show model a little bit
Yeah, well, I mean, I like cracking boosters, so I like trading with
more.
friends too. So
Yeah,
that makes sense.
yeah.
So when exactly was Genesis released? Like, did you start with a Because I didn't see it much before. Like, was it in Game Store from the beginning, and when did it start?
So our first official public sale happened on October 28th, 2017.
Oh wow.
It was at a small convention called SkyCon, and the convention itself had about 400 people attend, 300, 400 people, which was really big for their very first convention. But it's a smallish convention. And we had 30 starter kits. That's all we had at the time. Didn't have booster packs. We
Hmm.
didn't have, uh, we weren't even done the alpha set. Like a lot of the alpha set was still in testing. But we had 30 starter kits and we brought them to convention and we sold 26 of them. And I was like, wow. Because the crazy part was we were selling them for $75 each. Can you imagine
Wow.
a collectible card game that had a two-player starter kit selling for $75? And there was nothing better than commons and uncommons in
Yeah, but I think it. Yeah. Well, that's pretty good.
it.
So when was so I have the different
Yep.
boosters box here.
Yep.
So then I guess you made the alpha set, or I don't know if there is an
Okay.
alpha set.
Yep. So Alpha, the starter kits came out 2017. Then the first set of booster packs came out in November 2017.
Hmm.
And those booster packs only had about, I think, 24, 25 cards of the 90 card set. Like we weren't even done the set. We were
Yeah, yeah.
releasing booster packs with partial set completion. Alpha set wasn't done development until mm, I think April or May of 2018.
Hmm.
Uh, and then we started selling the booster pack that had the full set in it. And then September of 2018 is when beta came out. So alpha was a short print run set.
Hmm.
There was less than 1,000 booster packs made total, like not booster boxes, booster packs.
Hmm.
Less than 1,000 of those, and then there was only 130 starter kits made.
I see.
So alpha was a very, very short print run. Beta was our first large print run where we worked with a large scale manufacturer. We can make things in mass. But
Hmm.
when we released beta, we were only being sold in 2 stores.
Yeah.
So
Well,
we
it's
were
very
very,
risky. I mean, I know very well from my side. It's like you don't want to invest too much in a card game if you
yeah,
don't know if you can sell it because after you don't know what to do with it. Like,
yes. It is, it was a huge risk. And the 2 stores that supported us, it gave me a lot of confidence. So the way we got into the stores was we offered we would do an open house, and during the open house, we brought product on as consignment.
mhm.
So that way the
Oh,
store had
cool.
zero risk, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then after the open house was done, they bought product based on what the community said they wanted. So they would buy product, and then I would be at the store every single week if they needed a restock. So the store only needed to buy what they needed. They didn't need to buy extra. And then on top of that, I would give them a singles collection. So they didn't have to open up sealed product to start selling singles.
Oh, that's
So I
amazing.
took all the risk away from them to help them build their community.
So that was beta, and then it's welcome to Jailara. Jailara.
JLR, yes. So alpha and beta were our alpha was us learning how well, learn us. It was me learning how to make a game and sell it.
Hmm.
Like how do I convince people to buy? Beta was me learning what it's like to actually start a company, take on because all of this game so far, all of the money into the company has been on my shoulders. It's come from my life savings between me and
Oh
my
wow.
wife.
Okay. Cool.
And I took on some debt, and it's all come out of revenue flow. We haven't crowdfunded, we haven't got on investors. I own 100% of the company.
Hmm.
So beta was me learning what it's like to take on debt and have real risk in my company, which then puts a candle underneath you to say I have to make sales
Yeah.
because I have now loans that I have to pay off. Welcome to Jailara is the first real set of the storyline. So if you go read the Akashic Codex, which is our story arc, it starts at Welcome to Jailara. The first chapter happens in Welcome to Jailara. So that's our introduction to the world. We're now talking about storyline. We're talking about sets, and then Raise is the second part of that storyline.
So what is this codex? There is a book, a storybook or something?
So it's on our website. We have chapters published
Oh,
under a story arc called the Akashic Codex, uh, and
okay.
that is, I think we're up to chapter. We've done Welcome to Jalara, which was 12 chapters, prologue and 2 epilogues. And then we have Raise, which is 10 chapters done. And then the 11th chapter is the last chapter, which should be coming out not this Monday, but the Monday after. And then we're done the storyline for Raise.
All right, so I will put the link below, and maybe we can have a look at those. That would be interesting. So welcome
Yeah.
to Jailara. So I understand that's the start of the story. That's kind of like the start of a real
Yeah.
product.
Yes.
Um, and so this is finished. And then you had Raise.
Yeah.
Okay, and
Uh,
Raise is how do you see Raise for you? Like,
so Raise is like an expansion set to Welcome to Jalara.
I see.
Those two sets work together really well to give you one great storyline, really complementary components. It
Mm-hmm.
gives you Raise was um, so we've had the same 8 champions in Alpha, Beta, and Welcome to Jalara.
Mm-hmm.
Raise was the first time we released new champions.
I see.
So that was a big thing for the community, having 4 new champions come in. So that was the big shift with those sets.
And then, so I guess Raid is finished, and now you are Jelara
Jalara
second
second
edition.
edition. Yes.
Uh,
So what happened was when back in March of this year, we signed a contract with our first distributors.
mhm,
We've actually got distribution, and then all of a sudden, our inventory, which I was struggling to sell month over month,
mhm,
sold out immediately. We went from hundreds of boxes, which felt crazy to me, down to 0 boxes
mhm,
within a few weeks. So we needed to reprint those products. However, Welcome to Jalara, Raise, and Beta, there were a lot of typos in those sets.
yeah,
There were a lot of design issues. We were still learning. We're still growing as a company. So what we decided, instead of reprinting those products, which looked bad and had typos, we would release JLR second edition, which was going to be a cleaned up version of those sets, taking all the fundamental cards, so not all those draft chaffs, not all the cards that are useless that you open up in a pack and you throw away. Uh, Not reprinting those, but only the actual valuable cards, putting them into one set, and then redesigning the way we do booster packs. Um, we we wanted to make the accessibility of the sets of the cards a little bit easier.
mhm.
So now it's a lot easier to make a competitive deck.
Okay.
For about $200-300, you can make a
And
competitive deck.
how many cards do you have now in this set?
In this, how much is it? Let's see. It is 153 cards.
Oh, I see.
So
Okay.
12 of those are champions. So those are your hero cards. And then 4 of those are your resource cards. So you're down to like 130 something unique
Hmm.
cards.
I think that's the bare minimum to have a decent game.
Yeah.
Like you need at least like 120.
Yeah.
And can we draft this game or not?
Oh, 100%.
Okay, so
100%.
well, we will see another day. I have no idea how to draft it, but that looks interesting. So this is so Jairara second edition. If things go well, I'm gonna work with Sid. But hopefully we will be able to get you products if you want to play, and we will try to hold tournament. Still, we have to. There are a lot of
Yeah.
things to do,
Yeah.
uh, but
JLR
this is
second
his
edition
product.
really is it is the best starting point for a new player.
Okay.
Getting the old stuff's cool. It's out of print. I don't even have a lot of it, to be honest. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to Jalara, Raise, and Beta. I think I have 1 or 2 booster boxes of each of them. That's
Mm-hmm.
all I have. Everything else is in the market.
I see.
So it's cool having those, but there's the value if you want to make a good competitive deck and play the game really well, then your best value product is Jalara second edition.
Okay, that's amazing. So coming back, I mean, we talked a lot already, but that's very
Yeah.
interesting. Just like I was curious about the structure of your company, like how solid it became now. Like how many employees do you have working on the game right now? Like, because I saw some companies they have only like 5 people, some they have like 10, some they have like two. Like, I'm just curious if you can tell
Yeah.
me.
Uh, it's a complicated question. It
Uh,
depends on how you define employees.
so I guess you
So,
contract people just for products
so
or
how it works is we have our team is our complete contractors. They all have contracts that say they get paid commission on their pieces.
okay.
So depending on how complex a piece is, this is how much they get paid. That's the art team.
Hmm.
The game design team is doing it completely on sweat equity. So they actually aren't getting paid. They believe in the company. They want to see the company succeed, and they want to own a part of the company when that time comes.
Oh,
Um,
interesting.
yeah, and then we have an editor, and he gets paid hourly because I randomly send him a a giant blog or news story or something. I'm like, edit this.
Yeah, no.
So he edits it, and he gets paid hourly to do that. And then our last side is the sales team, and they are working on commission.
Makes sense.
So
So it's very interesting. So like the R&D, the game development,
yeah,
you really do it like a startup, like selling, like giving sharehold kind of.
yeah,
So it's really good for
uh,
motivation, I
yeah.
think.
So my philosophy on how business run comes from the tech startup
It's
space.
very fresh. I like it. I was wondering, like, you are based in Canada. I mean, me too. And does that make things different for you, like
Yeah,
reaching out and like, yeah, I was thinking so. Like, I was thinking if you were in US, probably that would be easier to reach out. There's so many more
yeah.
shop. Uh, do you think it's a
So
bottleneck for you right now?
yeah, there's pros and cons to it.
Hmm.
One of the biggest advantages, especially as we're growing as a company, is that because we're a Canadian game, people were not paying attention to us,
Yes,
and that was a
I know.
good thing. That was an extremely good thing.
Mm-hmm.
I know where my mistakes, where my follies are. I know where my strengths are. I know what relationships I want to build. And being in Canada gave me a chance to do that because in the US, it's so much more cutthroat. There's so much more competition. And that little flag on the car, on the box means a lot more to Canadians than I think it would to
I mean, I will
Americans.
be honest. I contacted you because there was a flag, like
Yeah,
that.
exactly. Right.
Because otherwise, that's
Uh,
just one of plenty.
some of our strongest partnerships in the first 2 to 3 years. The biggest reason, and they would say to me straight out that the only reason they took the risk on me at all is because of that Canadian flag.
Okay,
Uh,
makes sense.
so I I didn't take advantage of it, but I mean, leverage your strengths,
Hmm.
and I made sure that yes, they took the risk on me, but I worked really, really hard to make sure that risk paid off.
I wanted
Mm-hmm.
to talk about the art
Yeah.
because that's
All
what
right.
people see first, and so let's show some cards, and I thought maybe you can tell us a bit about the artists you work with, sorry.
Yeah.
Give some name of like, is there any like artist you would dream to work with? I really like Nubia,
Mhm.
and as far as I understand, she's one of the champions.
Yep.
I do not know this artist, Damjan
Yep.
Djordjevic.
I
I'm not gonna pronounce it.
I don't think you'll know any of the artists that work on our team. Because at the end of the day, a lot of the artists who work on Genesis, by the time they joined our art team, they were still in school. They were still studying in art school, or they just graduated.
Hmm.
They were very, very fresh faced. Now, I'll say for Damian, he is he is getting a lot of exposure right now. And he's telling me all the time that he's being approached by these AAA companies to come work on their projects. And he's trying to figure out what he wants to do with his life. But a lot of these artists, they were brand new to the industry when they signed up with us because I very much believe in giving people their first chance and their second chance and their third. But it's I have had a very blessed life of people taking a chance on me. And now it's my opportunity to pay it forward by taking a chance on brand new artists and give them the opportunity to really grow their career. Ramiana, who you're featuring right here with the Baruch and the Registry Lion.
This is gorgeous. I mean,
Yep.
yeah. If you sell any of the art, I want them. Like Baruch is
when
really a beautiful
yeah,
piece of art.
when she started on our team, she was a random artist on Fiverr. That's how I met her. She was on Fiverr and she was charging about $20 a commission.
Okay, cool.
And I turned around and I was like, I'm not paying you that little. I'm gonna pay you much, much more. And but now she worked with us for 3 years and now she's off doing these amazing projects on these really crazy mobile games.
Mhm.
And it's because she got the opportunity to grow a portfolio. And that's what I want to do. I know that there's not going to be any artist that signs up with us and stays with us forever. The odds of happening are very slim. But I want to make sure that when our artists leave the company, they are going off to do these amazing projects and they get to chase their dreams because that's what everyone should have the opportunity to do.
I'm a big fan of Rumiana. Do you think
Mhm.
for next set she will still be working with you?
Unfortunately, no.
Oh no.
Like I said, she went off and now she's doing her dream job. She has everything she needs. I ask her every now and then to do something. She's like, I'll let you know when I have free time. But right now, she's doing mobile
Mhm.
games during the day and then painting in the evenings and traveling around the world. I keep in touch with her on Facebook.
You are gonna keep trying to discover new seed, or you want to invest more in like veteran artists moving on?
I want to do a little bit of
A
both.
little
I
bit of
want there
both.
to be an opportunity to get really high-end artists because that does help the game grow and get recognition.
Hmm.
But I also want to have a company where new artists can get the opportunity to get mentorship
Hmm.
from those the senior artists, and then they can grow their portfolio and go on. And then we can be the company that people know as I go in there, I invest a few years, but when I leave, I can go and get any job I want.
Can you explain a bit the rarity system in the set? Like, I understand you have common, uncommon, and rare, and I saw you have epic. So, what are the epic?
Yeah. Yeah, standard game, we have common, uncommon, rare. Epics aren't true epics. They are epic rares. So the idea with an epic rare is it is a extended art version of a regular rare card. My philosophy, game design, ethical TCG game philosophy, is that for, your booster pack should contain one, at least one card of every functionally unique rarity level. So what
I
I mean
agree.
by that is commons all are functionally unique, so you should have at least one common in your pack. Uncommon, rare, but epic rares are not functionally unique from regular rares, so epic rares are not in every single pack.
So,
And then starter cards like champions.
I see.
There's one in every single pack.
So, like this
Okay.
Nubia that is full art, is
Mhm.
that an epic?
Nope,
No.
that's
Okay.
that has the same rarity as the other Nubia that's beside
Oh
in a
wow.
pack.
Okay. I mean, I want one. So, but this one, Cabus.
Kabas, yes.
This looks really good.
Yeah.
Uh, so I
So
guess
there's an epic. That is the
okay.
epic rare version of regular
And
bus, right?
are they foiled? I
But
like shiny thing. Are they foiled?
so we introduced foils for the first time in a JLR second edition. Uh, Before JLR second edition, we didn't put in
I
foils,
see.
and that was for a budget reason, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
I
it's
said, this is
expensive.
completely self-funded. Putting in foils was very expensive.
So which card are foiled? It's not the epic. It's something else.
When Foil cards can be anything from common, uncommon, or rare.
Oh, I see.
Uh, so epics will not be in foil form, but you can get your rare version in foil. So
I
like,
see.
yeah, I have a box of a
And
bunch
you
of
have
rare
one.
foils. So it's done.
You have one foil per booster.
No,
No. Okay.
one you get one foil in every 17 booster
Oh
packs.
my gosh. All right. But they are functionally the same as the other card, which
Yes.
is something I really like. I wanted to show those two epic cards because I love those. I mean, you have to keep Rumiana. I don't know. I mean, this is truly gorgeous. Uh,
Yes.
like I mean,
But
I'm
we
top
have
tier.
new artists coming on. Like I don't know if you've seen Dahlia's artwork, but she came on
Maybe not.
and has been started working on the next set, and I love her art.
I
So the
see.
artists will come and go, right?
Yeah, I think
And
it's cool.
there's some artists that have been around since the beginning, like Damian. He's not our first art director, but he was our second art director. But he created the champions, like all the
Hmm.
characters. He's had a hand in creating all of them. So now he feels like he owns part of this world, and
Yeah.
he doesn't leave the project no matter what.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, let's talk a bit about the gameplay. I mean, you mentioned
Mhm.
quite a lot already, so I understand there is a grid here, and
Yep.
I have my hero, you have your hero. Um,
Yes.
how does the resource system work? Like, do you have mana? Do you have, I don't know,
Okay.
something else?
So, borrowing from the old RPG concept, you have stats. So in on Nubia, in the top left corner, you see those three banners, red,
Yeah.
blue, and green. So the red banner is your starting health, not your maximum health, but how much you start the game
Okay.
with. You can go over that if you play cards that give you health. Your second banner there is your aura. It's like if you're playing Diablo or Final Fantasy, you know how you have your mana
Mhm.
or your mana
Mhm.
pool, and you spend that to do your magics. That's what aura is. You
Okay.
start the game off with 150 points of aura, and you spend it as the game goes on. But there's no engine that gives you that aura back. So
Oh.
once it's spent, it's spent.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
a mage will have a lot more, like Nubia has 150, where a fighter like Rain or any other, Rain has 90. Every champion has a different amount.
Yeah.
The third banner there is your energy reduction stat. So for magical abilities, use aura, but for physical abilities, use energy. And energy is used by discarding cards off the top of your deck.
Oh.
But fighters have a tolerance to all their energy costs. So they will have a number on that green banner of 1, 2, or 3, and they actually reduce the energy cost by that amount. So if a punch would cost you 3 energy, Nubia would have to take the top 3 cards of her deck and discard them. But someone like Rain would only take the top 2. Fong, who has an energy reduction of 2,
I see.
takes only the top 1.
So there
Yeah,
is two resource, one for magic, one for physical, kind
physical.
of.
Yes,
And magic is kind of a pool, and you get when you have no more, you have no more, and the physical is your deck itself. And
yes,
I'm
exactly.
assuming you die when you have no more life.
Exactly.
That's okay. And if you have no more energy, so you are still alive.
You're still alive. You just have to resort to punching people.
Okay, okay. And do you think that luck is a big factor of the game? Like, did you find a way to mitigate how much luck is important?
I mean, you don't want to get rid of luck completely, then it wouldn't be a game, right? Luck
Yeah, I
is part
know.
of the joys of game. Luck is so important. You still have to draw the right cards and you still have to hope that your top deck's good. But there's been a lot of games where I just take my hand of cards, set them aside, and I'm just focusing on the board state.
Mm-hmm,
Because
mm-hmm.
now it's a game of chess.
I see.
Now it's about moving around the board, navigating around your opponent's creatures, attacking them from the right angles. All those things matter in this game. So a lot of times your hand is irrelevant.
I
You're just
see.
focusing on the board state.
And like, how long does a game usually take? Like 30
Uh,
minutes, 20 minutes, 1 hour, 10 days?
no. So I played games that have been as short as 3 minutes. I've played games that are as long as an hour. It's the average game is about 15 to 20 minutes. We play best 2 out of 3 and 45-minute rounds at a tournament.
Okay. Well, that sounds good.
Yeah.
So talking about tournament, what is the status of organized play? And do you have plan to increase this aspect?
Yeah. So we are currently in our beta phases of our organized play system. The software we got custom made and it's called the Genesis Event Organizer, or Geo for short.
Hmm.
When the stores have from the 1st to the 15th to create all their events, once they on the 15th, I look at all the events and I say, I reach out to the stores, double check them, and then I send them an organized play kit for every single event that they're hosting.
That's cool.
If they're hosting an open house, I send them an open house kit. But for any other type of event, I send them an organized play kit, which gives them promo cards, which gives them booster packs, and things to just give away to the players.
Oh, that's really cool.
Usually it's like you get a little booster pack, which you give to every single player,
Hmm.
and that has 4 promos in it. And then there's a bunch of other stuff
That's
in there
cool.
too.
And I know there is a kind of a World Cup, or I don't know if it's a World Cup, but you have the
The
championship.
championship.
It's in 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, it's in 15 days.
But it's
Very,
far
very
from
soon.
me. It's the other coast. I'm on the west coast.
Yeah.
Will it be streamed online? Can we watch? Will it be
Yes,
record? Yeah.
yes, it will be streamed. We are working with a company called Northern Arena, who specializes in
Yeah, I know them. Yeah.
streaming esports, and they will be helping us stream this game.
That's pretty amazing.
Yep.
So what we noticed during the pandemic is that we got a lot more people playing, but we
Hmm.
had to play with webcam. And I do understand that because we play with a grid, that looks
Yeah.
like it's something more difficult. Is it something you want to think about? Is it something that we could implement in the game?
It is possible because when I was younger and I was playtesting Genesis, I used to play it on webcam. I would have a webcam pointed at the board,
Hmm.
and I would have proxies on the board for your stuff,
Yeah, I thought
and I'll
so.
move them around.
I'm sure you noticed Gloomhaven, the board
Yeah,
game. This is
yeah.
kind of new generation of RPG board game. You play alone.
Mm.
PvE is becoming very important in all the board game, and that's why they sell much more. Is that something that could be implemented in Genesis?
I have so many things to implement one day, but as of right now, um, so I have a lot of crazy ideas that I want to do with Genesis,
Hmm.
and a lot of formats that I wanted people to try out and play with. But right now, I want to just focus on this 1v1 format and get it solidified, get players playing it
Yeah,
and
yeah.
understanding it. But so PvE, one of the things I do test is one versus many.
Hmm.
So just say I would work as a dungeon master, and there's a team of heroes who are trying to defeat
Oh,
me,
that's cool.
and I have to set up obstacles and stuff like that along the way. I also have a format called terrain, where you take a normally the board's 5x6, you would extend it to become a 6x6,
Hmm.
but then you have put down an additional 6 pieces of terrain, and
Hmm.
those spots become void, empty spots that you can't move on to.
Yeah.
So now you have a map that you need to deal with when you're playing against your opponent
No,
instead of
yeah.
just being able to walk up.
Okay, so yeah, let's crack some pack just to see how it looks, and also look at what Sid sent me, a very nice letter here explaining me what he sent. So he sent me a starter kit, some boosters, and some content creator promos for giveaway. We're gonna give one away today, and one for the next video. So if you want to have one of the giveaway, you comment below, and one of you will win. So I got some purifying wave with a alternative art. Let me show you on the screen how the normal one that you get in the booster look like that,
Mhm.
and this is the alternated art that's promo, and that's only for the content creator, right?
Yeah,
You,
so we made these for content creators.
that's so
We
cool.
even have put a little box at the bottom where you can sign
Yeah,
it
I
if
saw.
people want your signature on the card.
So please comment below. I will choose somebody randomly, and then I will contact you, and you will tell me if you want signature or not. And I have some booster. I have a welcome to Jailara pack. I have a raise pack, and I have a second edition pack, which is what we should be able to sell like very very soon. Uh, so let's start with the oldest one. Um and there is this beautiful Canada flag. Uh, and is it written anything? No. So you don't write behind like the rarity, right? You don't say one rare.
No, it's one of those things that I didn't realize how important that was to players. So in the next set with Origins, we're gonna start doing that.
So we have a disenchant. So that's a common you can see here. Uh, with art from Alex Ruiz that looks cool. Oh, this one looks cool. Awajin. So that's Damian, and that's the artist director, right?
Yes.
And that's also a common. I don't know how to play yet, so I'm just showing you the card. Dark Strength looks cool. Thunderstruck. Fire Protection, Rook, you rabbit, Searing Light, Direct Defense, Leo Unaud, I don't know how to pronounce it, Teleportation, and then we have a rare, Malicious Persuasion. Is that a good one?
Malicious Persuasion. It's actually one of my favorite cards in the game.
Okay, cool. And
I play it a lot.
so we have this one, and then we have Fang, a full art Fang.
Yes.
So how often do you get full art for your hero? Is that like every 10 pack, every 5 pack? You don't know? That's okay.
I'm just trying to run through the math a little bit myself. I think they are one in every 4 or 5
I
packs.
see.
Yeah.
Oh, so the uncommon are after. I see. So that's common, rare, a hero, and then uncommon. Angel Embrace. Pretty cool art. I do like it. And the card quality is pretty good too. Like, oh, it's written. So I didn't show you the back. So Haunted Castle Gaming is the name of your company. Genesis is the name of the game. This is pretty good quality. Uh, I it feels the same as like Flesh and Blood card, uh, or Force of Will card. Then we have one more uncommon, Shadow's Grasp, and finally Psychic Assault. Uh, Alright, so now we know. So that was Jailara first edition. So we can't buy any of those anymore.
Yeah.
Um,
So welcome to Jalar and Rays are completely out of print.
yeah.
Uh,
So I'm opening.
Whatever's on the market, that's it.
I'm opening Rays now. Gosh, I really
It
like
was
this
it was
giveaway. Is so
interesting each
nice.
set um the card distribution inside the pack was different each
Oh
time.
yeah,
But hopefully moving forward, we're standardizing that
because
to
now
make the
the
packs
first one is an uncommon. It's Wipe
uncommon. Yeah.
Smash, Diabolic Roar, Wind Slash again. Oh no, one was Wipe Slash and Wind Slash. And then we have a hero. I guess that's just reverse. We have Core. This time it's not a full art. We have Divine Covering for the rare. Looks pretty cool. Uh, we have Sidestep, Inspiring Might, Abundance, Cattail, Tiger, Merciless Beating, Tempest Sphinx, Peaceful Demand, Martial Sentry, Skeleton Warrior, and Dark Passage. So if you have an epic, does it take the spot of the rare?
So it was supposed to, but the printers there was a interesting mistake where instead of replacing the rare, they replaced a common.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I see.
So now if you get an epic, it's actually getting a second rare in your pack,
Oh,
which was it was a happy
yeah.
accident.
I'm opening the second edition of Welcome to
Nice.
Jedara now. The paper
So
changed. I feel the card feel a bit different, more neat.
they did change a little bit.
The printing is extremely nice. If you guys can
Yeah,
see the font, it's really good printing.
yeah.
So we
Uh,
got four common, and then we got Yamaduta, the uncommon, temporary location, urticating tarantula. That's hard to pronounce. Foresight of the ancient. Oh, and I don't know. We have a full art with nothing written anywhere.
Flip it over.
Oh.
So starting in second edition, instead of making the full art and the regular cards the same, separate cards, we combine them. So one
Oh,
side it's
I
the full
see.
art, one side it's the
But
text.
then it's kind of then it's less rare to get a full art of a hero. But
Yeah. But now it's cool because now everyone has the full art
that's
and
cool.
it's
And we
really
got
fun.
Guardian of Balance, which looks really neat.
Yes.
As already. Oh, we have two rare.
Yeah. So starting in second edition, we started putting 2 rares in every pack.
That's cool. Uh, so then really the hard thing to get is just the epic, and it's just
The
for
foils.
yeah, and the foil, but it's just cosmetic. We have
Yes.
Mahan Ghoul. I don't know if it's a good one, but Guardian of Balance, I do like it. We have
Yeah.
Leap, Shoulder Hop, Shadow Claw, and Arcane Blast. And I show you again the giveaway promo is Purifying Wave. And like in one of the video that's gonna come next, we're gonna do some we're gonna use a two-player starter set to learn how to play, and we're gonna do a video with Ben. I wanted to ask you, like regarding, while collective aspect we talk about it, so like you don't have to worry about anything. Like if you want just card to to play the game, um, it seems it's pretty easy, and the rest it's hard to get like all the foil and all the epic, but I guess you
Mhm.
don't need it. In average, how many box do you need to have enough card to make a competitive deck?
If you're going for second edition, which is
Yeah.
the best set to go for, one starter kit and two booster boxes will get you a lot of the fundamental pieces you need to make a really good deck.
I
Because
see.
in the starter kit, you get uh, three of the most competitive rares in the
Oh,
game come up in that starter kit, along with some of the most staple commons and uncommons.
okay.
We put them all in the starter kit. And then the booster boxes really help you double down. Because you get two rares in every single pack in second
Yeah.
edition, you're guaranteed to get at least one copy of every single rare, and then you'll double up on about half of them.
So like,
So
which kind of randomness do you use?
we
Like,
have the uncut sheets and we lay out the rares on those sheets and it
okay,
just follows the order on them.
that makes sense.
So we randomize it on the sheet three different ways. So your pairings are going to be a little bit different.
So like,
Uh,
you think with two box you should have a full set, more or
y-
less.
yeah, you should be able to get like five or six copies of almost every single card. And then in Genesis, there's no limit on the number of copies you can put into a deck.
Oh, I see.
So because of that, you can run as many of your
Also,
strongest cards.
and so if you just want to have a full collection, like one of each card, you think with one box you can do that?
Yeah,
And if you,
unless you're extremely unlucky,
yeah,
but uh, the average box should have one copy of every single common, uncommon, and rare.
and and how many epic do you get in a box?
Three to four.
Okay, well, not that many. And like two foil, something like one foil, two
If you're
foil.
lucky, two foil. The average box gets one foil. Some boxes get two foils.
I
Now
see.
there is a thing, and I won't tell you how often it happens, but there are full foil packs where you can
Oh,
open up the booster pack and it has 15 foils in
oh, that's gonna be some gut pack.
it.
All right, well, let's hunt for those. Um, yeah, just to finish, I wanted to ask you why start now?
So the advantage about now is second edition allows you to get all the key fundamental things you need to play
Hmm.
without having to go through back issues, right? You're not
I
looking
see.
for
Yeah,
those
yeah.
old sets that are hard that aren't in print anymore. The uh, most important cards for competitive, casual, or multiplayer are all in second edition. So this is the easiest time to get those. On top of that, um, we are the most neat now for things like the judge program, for
Hmm.
becoming a tester, to enter the championship. All those things, it's super accessible right now. As the community grows, we're going to have to limit how many people we have in those spaces. But
I
right
see.
now, we're welcoming everyone.
That
So,
that sounds good. So like, if we want to have people like shop who want to sell your product, that should be not too hard. That's
mhm.
what you are saying. And like, if somebody want to play test, also that's not too
Yep,
hard. Or if somebody want to become a judge, there is
yes.
space.
Yeah,
So,
like to playtest, all you need to do is join the playtesting Discord server. And if you fill out at least one report a month, then we ship you a promo every single month. And then for the championship, we actually have the tickets are free. There is a free level ticket that you can get, and then there's a VIP level ticket which gives you all the promos. And if you
yeah.
cannot attend the event and you get a VIP ticket, then after the event's done, we'll ship you all your promos.
Yeah, I put the promo here on the screen, and
Yeah.
I think you give also an uncut sheet
Yes,
of
you'll
welcome
get an uncut sheet, a
and some
t-shirt,
T-shirt. Or yeah.
6 promos. Other thing we're doing for our Patreon members who get a VIP ticket, one of our Patreon members created 12 chibi champions.
Uh
Like
huh.
he redid all the champions, but in chibi form. and we're gonna give a set of all 12 of those to all the Patreon members who get a VIP ticket. So you'll
Also, so you have a Patreon too for the game?
Yes, we have a Patreon. Every single month you get Patreon exclusive promos. Higher tiers get early access promos, so they get some promos that we're releasing for future events early.
Mhm.
And then the for the highest tiers, you also get to go through our backlog of promos that are now out of print that are impossible to get. You can go
Oh,
through our
cool.
backlog and get copies of those.
I will put a link also for the Patreon. And I just wanted to ask you, like, so now it's Welcome to Rust Second Edition. Hopefully, we're gonna have enough for all our community. What is the next set? And like, do you have a schedule of when the next set is coming?
So our next set's called Origins. You're actually looking at 5 of the cards from Origins right there.
Okay, cool.
Pari, Nullify, Pestilence, Mycorph, Pomerodon, and Zenith Pulse. Those were actually, we did a pitch contest where the community got to make
Mm.
cards, and then the winning cards are getting put into Origins, and that's what these 5 cards are. Um, so Origins is coming out soon. We got a special announcement. I'm gonna let people can follow us. Well, I'll let you know when we're ready to make the announcement, but we got a really special announcement we're going to be making about Origins very soon. And once that's
All right,
out
if we
there,
get more than 500 view on for this video, as soon as we get 500, Sid will come back and make a special announcement. Does that work for
100%.
you?
Yeah,
Okay,
100%.
good.
So we are going to be doing something really special for Origins, but that set should be launching very soon.
Okay, well, so we need to catch up. All right, so giveaway, you comment below for the next video we're gonna do. Most likely that either gonna be opening more boosters or that gonna be playing with Ben, learning how to play the game. So that's kind of the schedule. And then after that, maybe we will have a bit more discussion about the game strategy, which kind are good or not. But hopefully you guys like the game. Hopefully we will be able to give you to have enough product to sell to all of you guys. And yeah, thanks a lot, Sid. That was really cool. And if you have any question, guys, for Sid, you can also put in the comment, and so Sid can reply
Yep.
directly here. And stay tuned. Maybe next week we will have the gameplay video. Thanks a lot. Bye.